we all bring our unique, characteristics to the game. And, just speaking on myself, I think it's my tenacity, my energy, my play recognition, and really my communication skills on the field. I feel like I communicate well with the young guys out there. They respond well to my energy. And, I feel like, when I take the ball away from the opposing offenses, it definitely energizes my young guys.
Do you learn something from the number of playoff games you've been in that allows you to kind of deal with something like this in a calm manner, even if it hasn't been a Super Bowl quite yet?
Yes and no. You have to adjust to the schedule. You still try to, keep the main thing, and block out all distractions. But you see, we here talking to media. I know some of these guys, don't usually talk to media throughout the year, and now, it's media in everybody's face. So you have to be able to adjust through that, but also, keep the main thing, focus on, game planning and, being ahead of plays so you can go out there on Sunday and make plays.
It seems like AD's role and influence and experience with you made you a guy they really wanted to pursue. Mike thought that based on his conversation with AD that you were going to be a perfect fit. What about that relationship that lends itself to this?
Yeah, just our experiences over the years. Coming into the league, AD was a rookie too. So we learned from the same guru, Rod Marinelli, and just feel like we thought the same of the game, and I feel like I definitely would have, been a good fit, under his system and, after playing years of football with him.
Well, Mike, you've been through a lot of coaches. What's allowed him to have so much success in just year two?
Yeah, I think first is a relationship with the players. Being a young coach and, being diverse in his play calling, I feel like it fits, players so well because he always putting us in the right place to make plays.
What about loose and focused as an overriding philosophy? What does that mean to a player?
Loose and focused, loose, still having a lot of energy, being able to play around with your guys, have fun, but also, still focus on the task at hand.
Last one for me. Night before a game, what's your prep like? Are there nerves? What do you go through?
I have my nightly meal, pray with my kids, pray by myself, go to bed, Hopefully I get good dreams about making plays in the game and, wake up and start my day.
Do you have a message for the guys?
Message for my guys? Yeah, man, stay loose and focused. This is the time of our lives, and shoot, let's have fun on Sunday. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, and it really goes to, all these guys in this room, from head up to, our coaching staff to our players, and, how we found a way to play the game this year. I feel like, we created something special, a special brotherhood, and, it's going to be cool. Thank y'all. No? Yeah? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is it kind of a bummer that you can't really say what you're going to say and try to stir some stuff up, or do you just try to play it right down?
That's never been my type of game. I'm trying to hit you in, my trash talk is seeing you get up off the ground. So, that's how I approach the game. And, trash talk is really for, losers. That people that don't want to play between the lines and, want to use words instead of, using what God blessed them with, and that's their hands and feet.
Is there anybody on that side that you have played with or played against that you learned your takeaway from a guy on that side
Um, no. I mean, I don't play it against some of their players. But you know, no, like watching film, it never crossed my mind. Like, no, that guy's one of those people, or anything like that. Go ahead.
When you guys go once big P1 in practice, what makes the offense just so difficult to play against? What makes them so special? Just describe that.
Yeah. I believe it's their cadence. How quickly they get on the ball. Their approach. I mean, you start to get used to formations and stuff when you're in like training camp or whatever, but how they approach the ball and quick count. I mean, you got star players over there, Coop Jackson, Sam throw darts. So it's like you know we're very gifted on all levels, and I feel like that's what makes it so competitive and so special about this group. Yeah, my biggest growth was wisdom over time. I feel like through my mistakes and ups and downs, it definitely helped me grow. Definitely helped me make wiser decisions down the road. And what was your last question? I mean, it always revert back to us. The biggest challenge is, making sure we communicate, making sure we on time with our blitzes, making sure, we're out there dominating like we do every Sunday. Not letting this week be a distraction and, going out there and hunting. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yeah, for me, it's hard to express your feelings when you're in the moment. You know, I think everything will hit me when I'm holding up that trophy and, the confetti coming down and my family's around knowing that the job is finished. Yeah.
Tell me about the dark side. What was the origin of this
Yeah, me and all the guys was, talking about who we want to be, and legendary defenses always have names, and just the atmosphere of Seattle is dark, and we wanted to incorporate that in our decision, and so we was like, man, shoot, like that's what we trying to do to opposing offenses is make it dark, make sure that when they come out there, like they don't have no will. We shut down everything that they have, and they know it's straight darkness. So
did it come from you? Was that your suggestion?
no, I mean it was a team effort, defense effort. Yeah.
You guys were on the back of a bus after a shutout?
Correct. Yeah.
Formulated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nobody took a vote or anything, but tell me how.
Yeah, we did take a vote, but I think Jay Love made the final decision. Yeah. Yeah.
DeMarcus, Coach McDonald said a couple minutes ago that you're playing like the best version of yourself. Would you agree with that?
Coach McDonald said
Yeah,
what?
you're playing like the best version of yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe so. But it definitely goes back to the way my teammates are playing. When you have some crazed dogs around you that's attacking the ball and making plays. I feel like it's easier for a veteran like me to go out and make plays.
Has the extra week in between games kind of made a difference for you at all with the preparation?
Yes and no. More media, interactions, but it's just like another bye week. You just got to know how to approach it, take it day by day, and make sure you're up on your studies and your communication. Thank you. Yeah, more treatment, more film study, knowing that, we never played this team this year, AFC opponent, and, it's just really, just staying in the moment, man. Every day, it might be something different, but, just staying in the moment, making sure you preparing for, Sunday, that moment, and, when it comes, thriving it.
How long have you processed this season as evidence that you became a great? What's kind of different grade in the tail end?
Yeah, I believe we all found out early in training camp. He was making so many plays out there. Like to see a rookie, thrive early in training camp. Like when you first get in the playbook is special, and we definitely knew it from day one.
All the different roles they ask him to do, that's rare, isn't it? For kind of have that many things he does as a rookie, do it pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, Nick is a special guy, and for him to be so versatile and how tall and lean he is, I think it's every coach's dream to have that one player that you can move all around the field, and like I look down the line sometimes and I look out and I'm like, bro, like why you so close to me? He's down there, in the trenches trying to play like a D lineman. So I mean, like. Nick is that special kind of player. I in this moment, I definitely don't feel like that's the time for this question. Just focus on this game right here, and that's it, really. Believe in yourself. Let the doubt fuel you. Continue to press on your dreams and, trust God. Pre-game meal, it varies, bro. I'm not a picky guy. I got to have my fruit in the morning, and shoot. I don't know, man. I'd probably do a sandwich or something, You don't want to, overfill yourself before a game. You want to stay hungry. Appreciate you. Say it again. Specific person? Yes. I mean, it might sound selfish, but it's myself. This is something that I dreamed about as a kid. This is something that I wanted my whole life, and when you blessed with the opportunity like this, like, I mean, who is it really for? You're the one in the moment. You're the one that have to go out there and do it still, and so it'll have to be me. Yeah, trust God first and foremost. If He didn't want you to believe in these dreams, He wouldn't have gave them to you in the first place. So, continue to trust God. The road might be ugly, but it'll be all worth it at the end. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
How you feel the first Super
It feels amazing. You know, it's the place I wanted to be my whole life, and you know, I definitely feel like I deserve this opportunity. You know, I'm playing with a great team, and you know, it's special. Thank you.
Hey, what advice would you give the young kids out there? Perhaps they don't believe in themselves, or they don't believe that they can make it to where you made.
Yeah, trust God. You know, He wouldn't have gave you those dreams for nothing. Continue to believe in the process. The road might be ugly, but it'll be worth it at the end. Yeah, you know, I definitely remember our times. You know, but you know, we're older, both older now. I feel like we both move a little different, and you know, I feel like the energy is going to be high on Sunday. You know, it's going to be a special moment, and yeah.
You talk about a process.
Uh-huh.
You get to this stage, you look at, Leonard Williams across the way, Sam next door, all these guys getting to this point in the career. What did you get here? What does Sunday mean to you besides the football, besides the finals? Because it is the feeling of this.
I mean, this might sound weird, you know, because this is something that I wanted my whole life. It's just another game, you know. I have to go back to, my regular life of being a father, you know, receiving another, child in this world soon. So it's like I have something special at home that, comes before this game. And, even though, God willing, my dream will be accomplished on Sunday, that, I have something even better, that I'm waking up to, that Monday morning. So it's like, yeah, it's special. I accomplished it, thank you, God. But I'm more thankful for this over here, and I go back to, being a father of 6. Thanks. What up, though? Yeah. You have no idea. She is 37 weeks this week. So she is due any day. Thankfully, we have a great doctor. She's gonna, fly here to make sure, everything stays calm. But yeah, like, we definitely had deep conversations about it. Me and the guys had a conversation, and it was like, hey, so if your wife had a baby during the Super Bowl, what you gonna do? And I was like, man, bro, like, I missed my first son's birth, and I can't miss my last, dude. So they was like, so you gonna leave us? They was like, bro, look, it ain't guaranteed you gonna make another Super Bowl, but you can have another baby. Yeah. Who you think? My little brother. Say it again. Yeah. I definitely wanted to be, a special moment, all around for all of us, as a family. Bringing a child in this world is, a special blessing. And also, receiving another ring this year, like, what can top that?
How did it come about you for the first while? Like, is that by design or just sort of?
I swear, man, like, y'all know y'all can make a story out of anything. And the correct story is they told everybody that the back of the plane was gonna have the stairs, and I actually sit at the front of the plane. So when everybody was walking off, like, I looked out the window and I seen the basically the little bridge come up, and I was like, hold on, that's coming to the front. So I just turned back around and walked slap off the plane.
No symbolism there.
Nah, not at all. It was just, God's purpose, God's design.
Speaking of your penmanship, that's fantastic. How have they impacted you guys? What are those moments like?
Oh, it's incredible. Just seeing all the different emotions that they go through, and them being able to share this moment with me. But also, it's even more special because of the sacrifice that they had to make this year. Through the transition and moving and schools and making new friends and that whole process. But that's why it's so special for them, and all that they had to go through and, adapt to this year. And, that's what's special.
Marcus, Andy was talking about moving to the run being one of the key reasons he wanted to sign you into these, but there are a lot of exceptions there. Where does that come from? When did you start winning like that?
Yeah, I believe it comes from, my early days in the NFL, through Rod Marinelli. He taught me early that, in order to rush the quarterback, his saying was, stop the run on the way to the quarterback. So that's really about your approach angles and, how you set the edge, and through that, you can play action, you can stop the run. I mean, if you get up the field and set the edge, you can use the offensive tackle and, make him run into